It's just fun. History really is fun. In the end, historians tell stories, and the stories are great. The stories are as good as anything that comes out of Hollywood or out of the mass media. So that's one level. On another level, it's important to study history because I think it's part of general cultural literacies. Need to know, everybody needs to know what's happened in the past, at least to some degree. I think studying history helps people understand what's going on in the present. They gain experience with the way things went down in the past, which helps them evaluate what is going on in their current lives, ranging from political decisions to social policy to even day-to-day decisions about how to live their lives. On another level, I'm a firm believer in transferable skills. I really think that studying history, even if students only take 1 or 2 history classes, they're going to learn how to read, write, talk, and really, in the end, think. I really, really worked hard on the visual images in my chapters. When I show the book to somebody, I often open it up and show them the visual images, because if I can get them looking at one of the visuals, they're like, oh yes, that is a great image. That is a powerful image, the propaganda poster of the mother breastfeeding the child with a call for donations to the Nazi welfare organization called Mother and Child. You know, the Nazis set up a social state, and they, in many ways, depended on contributions from ordinary people to fund that social state. And they were very eager to appropriate this vision of traditional motherhood, to encourage people to give to the state. And what's great about that image is that it's paired with the Mother's Cross, which is this bronze medal that was given to women who had borne more than 4 children. And it came with a sign letter from Hitler. And one thing we try to do in this book was pair images like this, images, sort of a visual representation with the image of an artifact. I think that's a really nice example that reinforces the fact that this pro-natalist policy had many aspects, not just a poster that you'd see, but if you actually followed it, you'd be rewarded symbolically by the regime. We hope that they would read the caption, and once they read the caption, typically the caption will end with a question or some kind of conundrum that will encourage them to think more deeply about what they've been looking at. The mapping the past features, which are now in every chapter, are features that present maps that ask students to actually answer questions about the maps and analyze what they're seeing in the maps. And so it's not just a political map with boundaries, but it's going to be a map that actually shows some movement of peoples or armies or pollution or something that you can put on that map that's going to engage the student's attention and then get them deeper into both the map itself and how to read a map and understand a map, but also into the material presented in the text. Coverage is very current. I work on the last chapter, and I organize the last chapter so I can update it in future revisions fairly easily with important events, important trends. But basically, when I did it, I was reading the newspaper and putting stuff in at the very last minute before it went to the copy editors. Here's what's going on, say, with the climate. An example is the climate meeting in Copenhagen. I mean, that was right when the book was going into press, and I made sure that got into the text. The peace sign that is the final image in the book is a photograph of a demonstration against the Iraq War in Budapest, Hungary. And as I worked on the book, it dawned on me that John McKay had quite purposefully chosen this image to be the last images in the book, because it's a very hopeful image. After all this whole semester or 2 semesters of reading Western Civ, I mean, we've seen some good things, we've seen some bad things. And the 20th century is not pretty. And so to end with the peace sign, I think he quite consciously chose that to give people an uplift at the end. And I think it's a really nice way to close the book.